Hey, hello.
How are you guys?
Good. How are you? Good.
Good. I'm Jeanine from WCBG. Thanks so much for speaking with me today. I guess we can just kind of jump right in. Can you guys introduce yourselves and tell me a fun fact about you?
Hello, I'm Nathan, and I like marshmallows.
Hello, I'm Alec, and I am often compared to a baby deer.
We have a cute little icebreaker that was asked at our freshman orientation that we ask everyone. If you can be any item in the kitchen, what would you be and why?
I don't think I'd be a whisk. I'm very good at whisking, so
Yeah.
what about
Okay.
I would probably be a sieve because everything goes through it.
I like that.
you?
He's got a head like a sieve. You say something to him, and then he just forgets it the next day. Everything just goes through, all the
It's
information.
true. Well, not even the next day. You ask me 2 minutes later, I don't really know what you're talking about.
He's slow. He's just slow. Yesterday I bought. We didn't have a singular wooden spoon for the kitchen in our house, so we bought a wooden spoon yesterday. Really effective piece of equipment. So I like to think of myself as effective too. So yeah, wooden spoon.
There's some great answers. When I was asked this at our orientation, I told everyone it'd be a knife because I have a sharp wit.
I like
Nice.
The
I'm
opposite-
also a little
the
bit
opposite.
scared of you now, but
I'm always quite curious of our next question, what people say to it. I think it tells a lot about a person. What is your favorite album in your personal collection? And by personal collection, I mean you physically own the album.
Ooh, nice.
Okay.
Oh, that's not-
We've got only a handful of like records.
Okay.
So I guess we pick those.
Yeah.
Well, the only record I actually own, I own 2 records only, which is a poor representation of me as a person who likes music. But
Okay.
I have a Terence Trent D'Arby one and a Linkin Park one, and even though I don't listen to them as much now, when I was younger, I used to live off Linkin Park. So I would say 1,000 Suns by them.
Nice.
Okay, well, this is fun, yeah. Okay, well, so this is a
What's on the B-side?
This is a Beatles B-side, which I'm not excited for which Ryan's mum actually brought me this. Very sweet. I also have a Rubber Soul album upstairs in my room, and that was it's an original one that my grandma got when she was a kid, so she gave it to me for my birthday last year. That's very sweet. But what about you, Ryan?
John Mayer, The Search for Everything, really good. I think this, I got this for like my birthday like 2 years ago, and then we found it was someone else's birthday like soon after, and we were like, can we give it to the Ed? So I was like, yeah, got given to someone else, and then I bought a new one.
I feel like this is a pretty poor
Very good.
representation if I listen to it.
Linkin Park?
Yeah.
He loves Linkin Park.
Huge shout.
I like this question because I think the album a person picks says a lot about them. It's kind of philosophical in a sense, just because like you might have an emotional connection to it, or it's attached to a memory, and everyone has these connections to music in this sense.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I am searching for everything.
It is, and I am a woman.
Hard as 1,000 Suns.
Okay. I noticed that all of you play guitar, correct?
Mhm.
So how did you pick that as your respective instrument of choice?
Ryan didn't get to pick, that's why he's on bass.
Yeah.
But,
Bass is the coolest instrument, by the way.
That's what we tell it.
That's what I tell myself.
I think we all started picking up guitars when we were younger, just because it's kind of like the easiest way to start like writing music and start kind of playing the songs that you listen to on the radio. So I think that's probably the reason.
Do you want the
we
real
chose
answer?
Yeah.
To get girl.
No, honestly, that was I mean, I think for me at least, I started learning guitar because I wanted to try and impress a girl at school. She was older than me.
Okay.
And I thought playing Hotel California without actually singing it, just playing the guitar, would work. I can tell you now, Jeanine, it didn't work.
No one could make out what the song was.
Yeah, no.
What's it doing?
So yeah,
Didn't work.
At least here where I am in music programs in school, you don't necessarily get to pick your instrument. So I like to think the person doesn't pick the instrument picks the person.
Like a wand.
The bass picture.
That's interesting. Yeah, like that in Harry Potter.
Oh yeah.
Like his big creepy hat, and he's like, "You will play the flute."
The bass chose me, didn't it? I
It did
choose
choose
bass.
you.
It's pretty interesting because like I don't know how the school system works where you are, but like we have to take a competency test to basically be like, can you identify pitches, and do you have any sense of rhythm? And then if you pass, you get placed in band class, and then they fit you for an instrument. So it's
Sounds pretty hard.
Yeah.
Do you not get a say in this? Do you not get to say what you want to learn? Or
You
don't
get to
that?
rank 3 instruments, but I wasn't given any of the 3 I ranked, so it didn't really matter.
Interesting system you have. I've got to say, I hate the idea of it.
Apparently,
What did you get? What
I
did you
play
get?
trumpet.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
You get the ocarina.
That's what you're gonna get.
You don't want to be that guy.
The ocarina guy. Hey, maybe he's.
Hey, just
fine.
sit at the back and play the ocarina.
Well, we could do with some trumpet parts in our songs.
I actually think our songs are missing ocarina.
And trumpet.
Yeah, here it's pretty interesting. Where I'm from Staten Island, New York, which is where my school is located, and my school is pretty well known for being the exterior of the Horace-Green Prep School from the movie School of Rock. So,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
nice.
That's so cool.
Is Jack Black actually a teacher then?
No.
Wait, so sorry, did you say it is the school?
Yeah.
It is that one.
So
That's
That's it.
I watched that film most days of my life.
that's like one of my favorite movies. Genuinely.
Yeah.
Sick.
That's really why we
It's why
started playing
I have the
guitar.
haircut of the drummer.
I have Jack Black.
You do actually. We're kind of all members of it. You're kind of like
You're
one of those.
Is he?
So it gets a little better. The kid who played Billy, the one who says I'm tacky and I hate you, actually graduated from my school as well.
Oh, no way. That's mad.
What a legend.
You're tacky and I hate you. You're tacky.
People say that to us all the time.
Yeah.
Oh no. I love seeing how this movie has influenced so many different people. But where I'm from, unfortunately, there is no local scene at all. It's pretty sad. So my question for you guys is, what's the scene like where you are?
Well, I guess so. We're not too far from central London at all, so I guess it's pretty good here. Like we got a lot of music venues around us. We actually just paid a visit to one that's down the road. It's called Shepherd's Bush Empire, which is a cool venue. We're meant to be playing there pretty soon. So
On our
Yeah.
next tour, I mean, I guess it's the same for you, but like, there's no live music here at all at the moment. Given the pandemic. So our tour was going to be in November. It's now in May next year. So.
Yeah.
But we will be playing at that
The
venue.
scene in London is amazing though, yeah, it's great. And I'm originally from Dublin, which is there's a great scene there as well. A lot of like smaller independent acts, all who just like you might stumble across them in a pub and then they end up being your favorite band. Pretty cool.
I love that. Based on like my listening history, I do listen to a lot of bands from the UK, and I feel like the scene there seems to be budding really well, while in America it's kind of like not quite sure what's happening most of the time. But
who's your what bands do you listen to from the UK?
I don't know if you're gonna know of any of them. Boston Manor. Yeah, no.
That rings a bell though.
Holding Absence. Delaire the Liar.
They're really uncultured right
Yeah.
now.
So do I, yeah.
What kind of
Okay.
bands are there? The punk band?
Yeah, they're like punk post-hardcore bands.
Okay, so we don't know. We're quite bad with that stuff. We don't know. But that's on us. It's not on you.
Like Green Day.
Yeah, I used to listen to a lot of punk.
Yeah. We are normally a alt-rock, punk rock station, so this is a nice change of pace for me to actually talk to a band who releases like really cool music in a sense that like it's not what I hear on the radio here, so it's pretty fun for me. On that note, can you describe your sound for me in 3 words?
We have to do this.
We
don't we?
we can do that perfectly for you.
Okay.
Do you want to say this one? You seem quite excited.
No, I just laughed with 3 words. So I don't even know if we all fully like agree with this, but somebody, a close friend, described our sound in 3 words, and that was tribal acoustic mayhem. And although we're not sure if that actually fully sums it up, we like the sound of it. It sounds cool. So yeah,
So that is what we go with. now.
tribal acoustic mayhem.
If you'd said 4 words, who would have picked stuff?
Yeah, we really would.
Well, there were 3 of you, so I figured if everyone said a word, 3 words.
Tribal acoustic music, okay.
I always love seeing how bands describe themselves because I might not necessarily use the same 3 words, and it's fun to see, like, out of your discography, how you would classify yourselves, since I think it's a better question than asking what genre you perform in.
I agree with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So, I know you guys recently released a new song called Emily. I watched the video for it and I thought it was pretty interesting. Can you describe the concept of why you decided to kind of do this like collage type video?
Sure. Well, I guess, I mean, we made the video while we were in lockdown. A friend of ours, Gemma, who directed actually our last music video, she took this one on board, and yeah, we just felt like it was probably the best thing to do given the circumstances. And I actually, you know, we all think it's actually our best video we've made. Ironically, since, like you said, it's all collage, but
because we were all in 3 different locations, you know, we weren't actually together at that point, so we were having to be pretty creative with everything we were doing at the time. So yeah, you know what, we love that video because to us it doesn't feel like a lockdown video. You know, it doesn't feel like it had to be. We would have been happy if we'd released that video anytime. So
yeah, and there's lots of little bits, whether it's us engaging with each other on video or whether it's like little kind of in jokes that the fans recognize and they understand, only they understand. Like there's lots of stuff. We feel like it sums us up pretty well.
Yeah, a friend of ours said to us that if someone was to watch that video, they would kind of get who our band is in like a good little nutshell, which is a really nice thing to hear. Yes, middle nut.
I thought the concept was pretty interesting. I have seen a few lockdown videos and they all are trying to do these very different things, but I thought the video you released was very creative. As you said, it doesn't really seem like a lockdown video, so that was really nice to see.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you mind describing the writing process for me of the song?
yeah, the writing and the process of the song. It was an idea that we had when we were doing some promo abroad. We were in Mexico at the time, and we were like crazy busy, but we were having this like lots of ideas, kind of because we were going to do some writing the following week. And we went straight from Mexico to LA, where we have like a bunch of friends, and we were writing like the whole week. And Emily was a song that happened like on the last day before we flew home, and happened quite quick, didn't it? I mean, we kind of just
kind of just agreed then and there. We're just like we should probably do a name song.
Yeah,
Emily just fell out of nowhere. We're just like, yeah, that one works. So
well, it was the line "You and Me Forever, Emily," which we just thought sounded really cool and sweet, and people would relate to it and sing it back and stuff. So yeah, we love that one.
Yeah, Emily's like that one.
I love when songs are kind of written in like the spur of the moment, as you mentioned. I feel like types of songs like that kind of just fall into place are sometimes the best songs that are released, just because everything flows and falls so naturally.
Yeah, I mean, we were overthinking it a bit at the time and a bit skeptical, I think, because it was so like, it was a bit different to the other stuff we'd done before, and it kind of we made it more us as time went on. But when we were writing it on an acoustic guitar, it just felt quite different. It even felt like quite country in parts, which we loved. But then we were just like, what, we have to make this more like our band.
Yeah, I mean, one of the harder things with that song was transforming it. It was harder, and one of the more enjoyable things as well was transforming it from what sounded like a very stripped back country song to something that could be like a pop record. And you know, we were going to play it on tour, but we didn't even know what the song was going to sound like, and we had our drummer with us, and so we were just in the rehearsal room and basically sculpted what became eventually the recorded version. So yeah, that was some good fun. Band stuff.
I find it interesting how you said it as this acoustic song. I've noticed, at least in talking to other bands and stuff, sometimes the stripped back version is completely different than the end product. So do you think that kind of happened in this instance for you guys?
100%, yeah.
Totally. I mean, more than any other song we've done, to be honest. Like this one, it kind of it was acoustic, and then we went and played it on tour, and then we just got so excited about it. That's when we decided this has to be a single, and then we went back in the studio and we were like, right, we have to work out how to make this, you know, from the live version to like the record, like how does it sound on the record? And really then there it kind of just like came to life. But it took a bit of a journey, you know, like usually we write a song, we kind of like produce it, and then it's like, cool, done. This was a whole process of touring it first, which we haven't done before. So yeah, it's different.
How do you guys pick which songs you release as singles and which ones would remain for like a full EP or an album?
It's kind of like, I mean, we're lucky in the sense that we're all quite similar in the music that we listen to and that we like, and then like we've kind of established what way we want to go with it. So there's songs that we write that we just kind of, some jump out straight away and we fall in love with, and we know that we want to stick with this one and put it out. And then there's other ones where we're kind of like, you rediscover kind of love for it. I guess that was the single before Emily called Pasta. We kind of left that song for how long was it?
A year probably.
Yeah, like nearly a year, and then we came back to it. We were like, this is actually really good.
I guess a good kind of litmus test, if you will, is playing it on tour and seeing how our fans react, because it's always that's always a good measure. And we took Pastor and Emily on tour, and they were went down probably the best in our set list. And so we kind of knew from there that we kind of had to release these songs. So Pasta came first, and Emily not so long after.
Yeah, I know track listing it's difficult, and picking what gets released as singles. Since I know from my own listening experiences to bands, sometimes songs that are released as singles I'm somewhat skeptical of, and then when I hear it in the full album, it just makes sense.
That's true. It's also a bit different for us because we've been so before COVID, we were touring or somewhere all the time. We were so busy. It would kind of be we wouldn't have a couple of months where we'd go away and write like a lot of people do. It was literally right, you got a week or you got 2 weeks, go and write the next single. And so we'd go and write a couple songs and then pick our favorite, and that would be the one. So this kind of lockdown has given us our first time ever in our band's career that we've actually had a chance to actually have real time, sit down and write properly for ages. So I mean, it's going to be different choosing the next ones. But we're kind of just choosing now actually what will be the next releases and where we go with our next songs. So it's an exciting time at the moment.
Very exciting. I know for track listing for full albums, it's always interesting because I feel they always tell a story, and it's always intentional how you guys placed the tracks for your songs. And I think that's super important in today's listening age. So my next question kind of relates to this. What is your opinion of streaming services like Spotify?
We love them.
Yeah, I mean, it's made music accessible to pretty much everyone, which is a great thing. Everyone should be allowed to listen to music and have music as part of their lives.
Well, we use it all the time.
We do
listen to people every single day.
So as fans of music, it's just there's nothing like it, is there? Do you know what I mean? Being able to listen to that much music for that kind of money is pretty incredible. So as fans, we are.
And you know what? It does make it hard for people because there's so much competition and everything. But also there's people who mightn't have been able to put music out in a major way before, who are now getting to kind of realize their dream and just put a song out. Sure. And it can it can be put in a playlist and someone can hear it, and then goes crazy. So yeah, I mean, it gives everyone a great opportunity as well.
So I'm not gonna lie, I use Spotify probably every day for most of the day, and
us too.
I love the streaming service for that. I think it's great for exposure, and with the algorithmic playlists that come out and everything. One of my own personal issues with Spotify is, one, I think it promotes a single culture where artists just keep continuously releasing singles instead of full albums or EPs. And I also personally don't like that as a fan I can view an artist's monthly listener count. Reason being, over here where I am, I've seen it negatively impact touring, and the same through bands are on a bill. And I also know from my friends that sometimes they only listen to an artist because they're popular.
For sure.
Very valid points. I mean, yeah, you're right. It does promote single culture. It has, and you also see kind of people changing the way they're releasing music and writing music because of Spotify, because of the way that Spotify will take it and run with it.
We're a great example of that because up until about, I guess it was December last year, we released an EP, but everything we've been releasing on from then and since has been singles. But yeah, I mean,
but it also it kind of depends where you're at, doesn't it? Because
yeah, totally.
At some point we will do an album, because as fans of music and growing up listening to albums, that's what it means to us being a band. So
it's great to have an album. Yeah.
So at some point we'll do that, but
we're very early on, aren't we?
Baby
band.
Fetuses.
We have a question that was created by our PR director. I'm going to be 100% honest. It's a hard topic. There's a lot of moving parts to it, and our question is, what is your opinion of releasing an artist's unreleased music after they've passed away? Should it be released or should it not?
Well, that's a heavy question.
Well, it's a good question. I mean, I still am big fans of I love Lil Peep's music, and obviously his second album came out after he died, and I don't really know. I've never really given it that much thought, but you know, I love, as a fan, I would say that I love hearing you know, pieces of work that wouldn't have been heard before, because you know, if someone had died and they hadn't been able to put that out themselves,
it's hard to know when you don't know how the person has felt themselves about it. But when it's like, there's a lot of people, I know Mac Miller being one of them, who was working towards this vision and completing it, and the path he was going down was like really, like he could have gone like taken over the world, I think. But yeah, I mean, personally, I saw a lot of people who were his fans who were really happy that music was out. But I guess it really does depend on the person.
Was it Circles?
Circles,
yeah, that went quite big, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just a tough one, isn't it? Because you don't know, like the artist might be pissed off because, like, you know, they didn't want it released, or they might have been like, yeah, like I want people to hear it. It's what I was working on. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
So,
happened to MJ too, didn't you think, with one of his songs?
Yeah, we bring this up because we want to try to start a conversation about it. We know, unfortunately, this has been happening more frequently in the music industry. And one of the things we want to try to start a conversation about is either negotiating this into a contract so the artist gets a say, or creating an artist will, so nothing is left to chance.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually a very, very good point. I'm glad you raised that.
Yeah.
We should think about that stuff more often.
Perfect.
Actually, we just bought bikes and a scooter, electric scooter, so we should probably think about that pretty seriously.
Our helmets did come today, in fairness.
They did. We got helmets.
Yeah, so we're all good now.
Yeah, I know it's such a heavy question, and I've gotten varying reactions for it. People have compared this to Kurt Cobain's journal, and people have compared this to Prince's Vault and Little Peep songs that were released because they kind of sound like unfinished bedroom demos, and how Mac Miller's album had consent from his family and the producer he worked with. So it's a pretty intense topic, and it's something that we think artists should be thinking about, just because we want to make sure like what you guys want is what people have.
Sure.
Good question.
Yeah. We're gonna segue to one that's not as unhappy.
Right. Just get hot in here.
Nervous.
Is it nervous in here? Is it just me?
Out of curiosity, what is your favorite part of a song that you've written?
Ooh.
Well, Emily, for us, that chorus, where it was just going this huge kind of vocal riff. That's probably definitely up there, like, because we've never really done anything like it before.
Channeled our inner Fleetwood Mac that day.
So we're really proud of that.
I would agree with that. That's my favorite part.
There's a couple of things that we do live as well that we introduce into the live set, which we don't actually have on the record, which we kind of like to have a lot of fun with and tailor to what we like. So yeah, you like this one, Happy Ever After You. At the very end, we kind of broke into this like
double time. Yeah,
double time, like quite like trashy guitars and everything like that. And it's that was my favorite bit.
It's cool. It is really cool.
I love how you mentioned that. That for live sets, you guys kind of deviate a little bit from the original track. I think that is something special, especially when going to a live performance, because you're seeing something that is unforgettable in a moment, because it's something that like you guys came up with that's different from what you normally hear. So that's special in and of itself.
Yeah, I mean, we just keep it exciting as exciting as we can. You know?
Yeah.
Not to like completely change all the melodies of every song.
It makes you feel special. Like,
so no one can sing along.
No, I think it's just like when you go to a gig as a fan, like that's kind of what you want to see, don't you? You like, you kind of want to see the songs being kind of as being made live, like played around with in live sets, and also like in the rehearsal studios when we're rehearsing these songs, it's just a lot of fun, kind of making them a bit different.
Yeah.
Never too different, just like exciting for a live place.
What is your favorite part of performing live?
Everything. I mean, we're missing it now. You've caught us at a time where we can't really say anything bad about it, because
you're making me sad now.
I'm going.
It's got to be probably for all of us. I mean, the crowd reaction is, we've got some wild fans here, especially. Well, UK and Ireland, but also in Mexico, they're crazy, and the Philippines, like they make a lot of noise. We haven't done a full show in the States yet, but we're looking forward to that.
It's what being a band is about. Just going and playing live shows and being a crazy
And
band.
just hearing people sing the songs back. I know that's such a cliche. People say that all the time, but it really is songs that you might have started writing in your bedroom, and then people are singing every single word back, and like you get to see the effect it has on them.
I guess
Pretty cool.
It's nice, just like
cool, man.
I guess everyone's got like a little outlet. For us, I guess when we're on stage, ironically, you feel like no one's really judging you. Which I mean, you should probably feel like that because you're in front of all these people. But you know, you kind of just feel like you can do anything and get away with it. And it's just like, right, that is so free.
Like anything.
Anything.
Don't know what talking. Anything.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
We're gonna change.
That should be the slogan.
We're gonna change the songs so much.
What's the craziest thing that's ever happened on tour?
Nathan once tried to push me off stage on our first
Not on
tour.
purpose. Not on purpose. On purpose?
It was totally on purpose.
It wasn't purpose.
Wait, on tour, we must have some fun story. Someone threw a chocolate bar on stage. It was completely melted, and it landed on my white shoe.
I'm sorry.
I mean, it wasn't funny for me, but everyone else found it quite funny. Yeah. She apologized. All was forgiven.
What musicians inspire you to be a better musician?
I think for all of us, it's John Mayer, isn't it?
Yeah, get him out. Come on, with them
You know,
out.
when we first met, like we all kind of bonded over him. He's the deity.
He is a very good guitarist, and
Lovely eyes too. What do you think? Look at them.
I think we could all we've all got a bit to go to match his guitar skills, and so does everyone else in the world. So I think let's all get as good as him on guitar.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the aim. It's easy.
He is a fantastic musician. I personally don't listen to him all that much, but I do know some of his songs.
Yeah. This interview's over.
Goodbye.
You will have left that.
What was your "this is it" moment? Like the moment where you were like, "This is what I want to do."
I should say Flamingo Land again.
We got asked this before, and Alec Alec responded with this really obscure, like small gig that we did in a theme park called Flamingo Land, which was definitely not his "this is it" moment.
It was
so
funny.
he gets to redeem himself now. And say
The worst,
something.
Jeanine, the worst bit was it. Believe it or not, there were no flamingos at Flamingo Land, which is
There
awful.
were a couple.
I didn't see any.
I didn't see them either, but I was told they were.
Well, I'll redeem myself from my first answer
Okay.
and say, it was probably playing. So we went on tour recently with Little Mix, if you know them. They're a girl band. We went around all of the arenas in the UK and
Ireland.
Sorry, and we stopped off halfway through and right at the end to play at the O2 in London, which is obviously the main venue where I'm from and where Nate's from. And you know, even it kind of didn't sink in when we were playing it, because I guess it never does when you're touring. It just goes day by day over you until you're finished with it, and then you look back and like, oh my god, I did that. And so that was probably it for us. Well, for me.
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to do this, but as Alex said, it's very easy to kind of just like live in the moment and kind of like enjoy it as it's going along and not kind of step back to realize. I guess the first time I was kind of like, wow, like shocked was maybe going to Mexico and seeing all the fans over there who like just knew who we were and knew kind of everything about us when we hadn't ever been there or remotely near there before. So yeah, that was mad.
Yeah.
You got one next?
For sure. And I would hope it was before any of those.
Oh, yeah, no,
because we did join a band.
Yeah, sorry.
Like, yeah, as a kid, you know, I think we were all the same. Just as a kid, this was like everything. Personally, I would like grow up watching bands on TV and think like, you know, that's what I want to do.
So I thought you meant like what was the
It's
kind of
okay.
oh my god, here's the moment.
Both count. They're acceptable.
In that case, it wasn't touring with Little Mix. It was playing
wasn't.
in a pub down the road from the house. Like, I want to do this. Not in pubs. Not in pubs.
A little bit thinking like, oh, that's fine.
Nah,
Like,
so-
next week I'll do something else.
Pubs.
I used to go to lots of
I
gigs.
might want to do this for a minute.
I used to go to lots of gigs when I was younger. So I mean, I was very lucky to see a lot of my favorite artists. So I'd say I think one of my first gigs was Green Day. Just seeing Billy Joe doing his thing, I was like, I want to do that.
So, best gig you've been to?
Oh,
Tudor Cinema Club. Went to see them when I was like 16.
Nice.
Do you know them?
Yes.
You know them? Yeah. They were sick. They were at the O2 Arena, where we played with Little Mix, and they were just a really good gig. It was like my first like proper gig, so that's what I say.
Nice.
You know?
Do you know what? And this is probably one thing about myself that I absolutely despise is the fact that when I was growing up, I never really went to gigs, because obviously you'd go to gigs. It's kind of a thing that you do if like your mates or your parents kind of did it. Like we all loved music, but we just never went to gigs. So I never really started going to gigs till I was about 17, which is horrible for a musician and an aspiring musician to be able to or to have to admit. But you know, for that reason.
Okay.
I don't know.
Sean?
I don't know. Shawn Mendes was very cool, but I think because it was my first ever gig as a kid, like I'd say the Wombats. You probably won't know them at all.
I do know the one.
Oh, you do know them?
Yes.
No way. Yeah, that was my first ever gig at the grand old age of 17 with my best mate. So that was good. I enjoyed that one.
Feel very weird and creepy saying this for the 5th time in the interview. I hope John doesn't see this, but John Mayer, I saw him in the O2 in London. I had to come over from Dublin because he wasn't playing in Dublin, but yeah, saw him in London. It was amazing. So good.
From my own experiences, even though I do this, I didn't start going to concerts until I was 21. So I definitely understand. My first real concert was Sleeping with Sirens. So.
Oh,
yes.
cool. Okay. You did it properly.
As I said,
Best one. What's the best one?
best one that I've been to, probably that tour. It was Set It Off, Sleeping with Sirens, Belmont, and Point North. So it was a pretty sick lineup. So I'll just kind of jump into my last one. What are your goals for 2020?
Oh, get through COVID.
Yeah, cure.
None of us get COVID-19. What is it?
You know what? I guess it's just to keep doing what we're doing, and like, given the fact that the industry's kind of had to fully adapt to what's happened, just keep up with it and do it the best that we are able to do it at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, our answer now is very different to the one we would have had if you'd asked us 4 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
But 2020, I mean, to write a lot more music is probably what it is.
And our writing has been improving, and we've started producing music as well. So, I mean, let's just master the art of writing and producing. Oh, we'll be fine.
To become TikTok famous, one of our songs to become TikTok famous.
That's a good
That's
one too.
Aspiration.
And world domination.
World domination. In the terms and conditions no one reads.
Okay, and the last thing I would love for you guys to do is what advice do you have for younger musicians who want to get involved in the music industry?
Get out there, start playing, start releasing music. I think a lot of people like sit on stuff, they like hesitate about putting stuff out. They get precious about it. We do it as well. But like, put stuff on YouTube. Start busking. Start doing open mic nights.
Us three met each other because we put videos online. So we wouldn't be sitting here now if we didn't do that. And especially me, I only have one video online. So I'm glad I put it up because I wouldn't have met these guys otherwise. So yeah, put yourself out there. Don't be afraid.
Look, gotta love the digital age. Thank you guys so much for chatting with me. I really do appreciate it, and I don't want to keep you guys too long, so I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much.
Jeanine.
Bye, everybody.